Okay, introduction to fractions for third graders. So I was digging in my desk a while ago and I found a package of graham crackers. Okay, now I just opened this to see how many were in here, and I want to show you something. Right now, this thing is whole. I haven't eaten anything yet. So this could be considered one whole pack of graham crackers. Okay, so we'll just say that he is one whole. He's whole. He's complete. I haven't eaten anything yet. So as I opened it up, I was curious to see how many cookies were actually in here. So let me see how many are in here. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we got an unfortunate broken one here, so let me use the big piece, and 8. So there's 8 pieces that made up this whole package of graham crackers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I put them back together again, that was my whole pack of graham crackers. Okay, it's whole, it's complete right now. But if I look at the different separations, there's 8 of them. Okay, so there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I actually want to make this into fractions, I could say that there was 8 total pieces out of 8 total pieces. So this was my top number of my fraction. We call this the numerator. You'll get into that in a little bit in vocab, but we'll say that this is the part to whole. Okay, and to get my whole, it would have to be 8 pieces. Well, I had 8 parts, so I know that right now I've got 8 out of my 8 total, so I know this is a complete set of graham crackers. Okay, so when you talk about fractions, it's going to relate the top to the bottom. The bottom tells you how many total pieces there are supposed to be. Okay, the top piece actually tells you how many you actually have. Okay, well, I had 8, and I know that 8 was my total in my package, so I know this is a one whole package. My 8 out of my 8 fraction is a one whole. Now, let me show you this. If I take only one of my wafers, okay, and I get rid of everything else, I just have one of my cookies here. All right, so as I'm looking at this right now, I wouldn't consider this to be a 1/8 anymore, because right now I'm only showing you one cookie. Okay, and the other ones don't matter anymore because I'm only talking about this one. So if I asked you, hey, is this cookie complete? You would say, yeah, it is. Okay, there's a whole cookie here. I haven't eaten any pieces. So if I'm talking about this one specific cookie, he is still a one whole cookie. And remember, we're not talking about the pack anymore, because now I'm only talking about this one cookie. And I thought it was kind of cool because I noticed these little lines in my cookie, and I can actually break these along the line, and they break pretty good. And we just turned into 4 pieces now. Okay? So if I want to make this as a fraction, I know I still have my one whole because I still haven't eaten anything yet, and I could put them back together like that. But as a fraction, total piece-wise, I'm supposed to have 4 total, and I still have all 4. So this fraction right here would be 4 out of 4. I have 4, and I'm supposed to have a total of 4, so I have 4 out of 4. Now, what happens if I eat one of these? Okay, so if one of these, I eat it, okay, he's gone now. Now what do I have? Well, this is different. I no longer have 3/4 or 4/4 anymore, because I only have 3 of them. I have 3 of them. So I have 3/4. But why 4? Because, you know, there's 3 now. So why wouldn't this be 3/3? Well, the reason is because I still know that I would have originally had 4 to make this a complete cookie. But since I've eaten one of them, I no longer have 4, I just have 1, 2, 3, but there was still 4 total originally. So this fraction is now 3/4. Okay, so same thing, let's say I eat another one. So now I don't have 3 anymore, now I just have 2, and that's because there was originally 4, so my fraction is 2/4. If I eat another one, okay, if I eat another one, I no longer have 2. Now I just have 1 piece. So I only have 1. That's what I have. My top number is my numerator. I only have 1, but I was originally supposed to have 4. So this would be considered a 1/4 piece. Now let me show you this with a couple of just drawings and get all these cookie crumbs off my paper right here. Okay, so let's try a circle this time. Try to draw that the best I can. All right, so here's a circle. And if I want to just name a fraction, okay, if I want to name a fraction, what I can do is I can cut this circle up, kind of looks like a little baby pizza, okay, and you can automatically tell that there is 1, 2, 3, 4. So as a fraction, my bottom number, remember, the bottom is the total of how many I'm supposed to have. Well, I'm supposed to have 4, okay? But if I only shade in 3 of these, I only have 3 shaded in out of the 4, so this fraction would be called 3/4. Okay, so 3/4. I have 3. I'm supposed to have a total of 4, which I do not have in this case, so I do not have a 1 whole. So this guy is not completely filled up, so he is not 1 whole. He is 3/4. Here's another picture. If I make a rectangle, this is kind of similar to our graham cracker a while ago, and let's say I slice him this way and I cut him right there. Okay, so once again, how many pieces are supposed to be here? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So these would be considered eighths because there are 8 of them. If I go shade some in, we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's say I only shade in 7. So I have 8 total pieces here that I can look at, but I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shaded in. So that is a 7/8 fraction. This is not a 1 whole because he's not complete. Now, if I came back in and did shade this last one in here, I no longer have 7 anymore. I now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I have 8/8. Okay, so this is gone now, and you can tell that it's completely filled in. So my 8/8 is still 1 whole because he's complete. Draw a couple more real fast. Let's try. Let me see if I can get a square the best I can. Okay, and let's say I cut it right down the middle and I shade in that much. All right, so I'm going to ask you now, what would the fraction for that picture be? Well, remember, how many total pieces do you see? Well, I see 1, 2. So I know I'm dealing with 2 pieces. Okay, how many were shaded in green? Well, this whole piece was shaded in green. There's only 1 piece shaded in, so my fraction is 1/2. All right, let's try another one. Let's go back to a rectangle. How about this one? Okay, and I'll shade in that much. Okay, let me get him a little bit more in there. There we go. Yeah, there we go. All right, so what would this fraction be? All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 total. The bottom tells me how many I had originally. I had 4. Only shaded in, that's what I have. I only actually have 1 shaded in, so my answer is 1/4. That is a 1/4 fraction. One more. We'll try another circle. That's pretty good. All right, so let me cut him up. And by the way, you'll notice that when I'm drawing these, I'm trying my very best to make sure that these are about the same size. In a perfect world, these would all be equal sizes, and I know mine aren't that perfect because I'm just drawing them by hand, but just remember that when you're drawing fractions, you're trying to get them to be as perfectly equal sizes as possible, okay? Okay, so let me shade in some, and then you can figure out what fraction this is. So I'll shade in that one, those, and that one. All right, so I'm going to ask you again, what fraction do you see? Take your time, count them. Here, I'll even zoom in for you. So remember, start with how many do you see total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, if you said something about eighths, you're doing really well. All right, how many were shaded in? 1, 2, 3, 4 green ones. So my fraction for that is 4/8. So fractions are not really that difficult. It's just you have to remember that it's a relationship between the top and the bottom. Just remember, the top tells you how many you actually have. That's the thing that you're being asked about. So this would be how many you have, or how many are shaded in, or how many you're given, or how many whatever. It could even be how many did you eat. It could be how many are gone. So the top number is what you're being asked about, okay? The bottom number is how many there's supposed to be. It's the total of that original shape if it was a complete shape. There was 8 pieces here, so those are eighths, okay? There was 4 pieces here, so this was fourths. There was 2 pieces here, so that was halves. And then the top number, your numerator, is going to be how many you actually had. I had 4 out of my 8. I had 1 out of my 4 total. And I had 1 out of my 2 total. So I hope that helps. Don't be afraid of fractions. They are kind of new. But after you practice them, you realize that they're really not that bad. So, once again, I wanted to show you this. Let me spell these for you, because these are some weird new vocab words. This is a numerator. Hopefully I spelled that right. I'm pretty sure I did. Numerator. And then the bottom is the denominator. Okay, denominator. Let me spell that one more time. Denominator. Sounds like some kind of like evil villain. Denominator. So I tell children in my class, this is how I remember this, okay? Numerator, denominator. If you think about it like this, when I have a compass for directions, north, south, east, west, okay? Numerator, north, meaning numerator north, always going up, always pointing up. So numerator north, that's one way to remember that. And denominator down. Okay, so denominator down, it starts with a D. So numerator north, denominator down. Numerator north, denominator down. So I hope that helps. It's one way to remember it because those get confused a lot. So I hope this helps. That was the intro to fractions with pictures. Mr. Pranay, I appreciate you coming, and we'll see you next time.